But I have a large fan base in Guyana and across the diaspora, giving Trinidad and Tobago some competition. So I'm very, very happy about that. But today is a very historic moment and a historic day for the Conscious Planet movement. Today we signed an MOU in collaboration with the people of Guyana to support saving soil. This was a follow-up of yesterday where we did the same with 4 other Caribbean nations, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts, Nevis, Dominica, and St. Lucia. This movement is about what we can do now to provide a future for our children and for generations to come. The Conscious Planet movement is highlighting the fact that we are facing soil extinction. And by that I mean the soil is a living organism, and over the last few decades we have been losing the biodiversity of the soil, the microorganisms, the microbes, the life of the soil. The life in soil is important for us to provide nutritious food for humanity and of course for the well-being of our children and generations to come. So this movement is very important, and I'm very, very proud to use my voice, use the platform that I have to encourage others to join. So before I bring the man behind the movement, I just want to say how proud I am to be from the Caribbean and see us as a people leading this charge to encourage the rest of the world. We are united as a people, different nations, different countries, but one people, one culture. And I think now is the time for us to show our strength and show how we can, take up the baton and help this movement go forward. I encourage all of us to play our role. What can we do? Sadhguru is going to tell you more about what he is doing, but we can support by telling our friends, posting online, making a lot of noise, saying that we support saving soil. And I would like to draw your attention to a short video presentation that will highlight these facts. But I thank you all for already stepping up and being here. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much. And now I present to you the Conscious Planet video presentation. Thank you.
Hi guys, we're here at the National Cultural Center, and as some of you who've been following us would know, we are here. There's a cultural program. The host is Mr. Machel Montano. So this is a short video about the program that they're here advocating for.
Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agent, carbon emissions and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction.
Climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat of.
That's my other profession. I'm a sound engineer and a troubleshooter. They call me troubleshooter. Sorry about that, a little technical difficulties, but I draw your attention now to the conscious talent video. Let's try it once again.
Carbon emissions and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our population will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy. In most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you're getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it? Now, in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. One teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbes alive in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. this first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call soil on the earth is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by plowing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be in agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible. Some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey. 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If we do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it will take 150 to 200 years, because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. We must hear the word soil, say soil everywhere, to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
Saving soil will be important.
Saving the soil. Our future, our children's future, and our planet's future depend on it.
Saving the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
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 Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me welcome the yogi, mystic, and visionary leader of Conscious Planet, Sadhguru.
Thank you. Forgot I had it in my lap.
That's not me.
Namaskar everyone. Excellencies. The moment we are born as human beings, life became complicated. If we had come like any other creature, eating, sleeping, reproducing, dying one day, it was a perfect process. Being human, you have to do all these things. If you can control the bass a little bit, please. Not sounding like me, that's the only problem. Sounding in the nearest way. Being human, we still have to do all those things that every other creature does. But somehow, it's not enough. When we are hungry, there's only one problem: food. The moment the stomach is full, 100 problems. This is the nature of the human being. If you had come like any other creature, just a few simple physical requirements taken care of, we would be just fine. Hello, are you there? Hello? Are we in talking terms or no? I know you're wearing a mask, but you can still speak. I've still not said anything to upset you. See, once you come as a human being, you do not know how far to go, what to do, what not to do, what is good, what is bad, all kinds of issues. First of all, through a whole life process, most people cannot figure out what it means to be human, first of all. See, if you had come like any other creature, you never saw a tiger sitting and wondering, will I become a good tiger? Will I end up as a house cat? No such issues. Did you ever see him? If he eats well, he becomes a good tiger. As simple as that. Well, you have come as a human being, how many issues? At every point you think this is it, but when that is done, you realize that is not it. Something more is needed, something more is needed. So this fundamental human predicament, how to be. But the irony is, we are the only ones, the human species, who are referred to as human beings. We never call a tiger being, an elephant being, an ant being. No, only this one is called being, because this is supposed to know how to be. You think they made a mistake? Our problem is this: if we had come like any other creature, the percentages I'm throwing just off the cuff, it's not like a perfect percentage. If you had come like any other creature, probably 90% of what you should be was determined by nature. Only 10% latitude to exhibit your own individual tiger personality, dog personality, ant personality, something. But once you come as a human being, you have come unformed. Only 10% is determined, 90% you are supposed to put it together. This is the human suffering. So, this world has created certain things that you create a role model and you try to become like them. People keep asking, Sadhguru, who was your role model? I say, I never roll with a model, time. nature made you in a certain way, all you have to do is nurture this. You don't have to become something else. There's nothing else to be. Every life is striving to be a full-fledged life. Whether it's a tree, bird, animal, whatever you take. You plant a mango tree, am I reminding all the Indian origin people, am I torturing you by talking about mangoes, Indian mangoes and all that? This happened, I must tell you. You have heard of Rabindranath Tagore, the Nobel laureate poet from India. When somebody asked him what's his age when he was, I think, in his late 60s, whatever his age was, he said 1 year less. So a friend of his who was there asked, why are you saying 1 year less? That's not your age. You're 1 year more than what you're saying. He said, no, 1 year I was in England during the mango season. That year I don't count as life. So, in India there are many religions, but now starting end of March till June, there's only mango religion. Everybody's smeared in mango. So, every tree, every bird, every animal is only trying to be a full-fledged life. A mango tree is not thinking how to produce coconuts. A tiger is not thinking how to become an elephant. An ant is not even thinking how to become an ant, all right, though there are many disadvantages. Because every life in its own nature is striving to be a full-fledged life. And that's all you can also do. If you have too many ideas about life, you will become a constipated life. You know what constipation is? Hello? It happens little by little. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your joy, your love, your blissfulness happens little by little. Constipated life. It's not bursting. Hello? This is constipation. Because everybody is trying to be something. The way creation has made you is fine. You just have to nurture this so that it's a full-fledged life, that's all. No, you're supposed to become something because you are a role model to become. So what you're saying is, nature gave you this freedom that only 10% of your life and your nature is fixed by nature. 90% is in your hands. Is this freedom or bondage? That was the question. Is this freedom or bondage? 90% of your life is left to you. You can do it whichever way you want. It's absolute freedom. No other creature has this. Just look at them and see. They can only do just that. Little, small latitude is there, otherwise they're all same. So 90%, you are the maker of your life, only 10% fixed by nature. Isn't this a fantastic life? Hello? No, that is the problem. That is the whole problem. The whole human suffering is coming from this. Don't know how to be. Lot of people openly saying, it is so much better to be an animal, because stomach full, you can lie down and sleep. This is not like that. Only when there is no food, it's a big deal. Once you've eaten, it means nothing. Hello? There is one lively participant out there. So what to do with this human being? You must learn how to be. How to be means, if you sit here, who you are, how you are, is not determined by what's happening around you. What's happening around you, social drama, of course you have a role to play. You have to do it. Whatever roles you've taken up, small or big, in your lives. But how to be is your prerogative, because the source of human experience is within you. Whether this moment you are happy or unhappy is within you. Whenever you are happy or miserable, did happiness or misery rain upon you, or did it happen from within you? Hello? Hey, if you're not on talking terms, what is it? I can also sit. So don't just sit there and stare at me. I have practiced a lifetime of simply sitting still. Alright? Don't compete with me. I can simply sit here for 2 hours like this and walk away. Is happiness or misery, whatever happened to you, did it happen from within you or outside of you? Oh, this is transformation, you know. Because you always thought your unhappiness is because of your enemy, your mother-in-law, your husband, your wife, this person, that person. Now this is real transformation in 10 minutes. Now you see your happiness and misery is caused from within you. If it's being caused from within you, who is causing it? Don't say us, that includes your wife and husband and everything. If you are experiencing misery right now, who is causing it? I'm asking. It has to be you. What's happening within you is your business, isn't it? Other people do drama around you. But your inner drama is 100% yours, isn't it so? Hello?
Yes.
This would happen, I know you're living in a city, but this would happen to you if alone you walked away into the jungle for 2 years, that you don't know what to say. That would be a great situation. This is not like that, you know what to say, but you won't, because you think somebody else will do it. This is the only problem right now, this whole save soil problem is just this. Everybody thinks somebody else will do it. What I have seen in the last 2 years, I've been traveling and meeting so many people, many global leaders, many influencers, many political heads, all sorts of people, scientists. What I see is everybody knows there is a serious problem, and most people know generally what is the solution. Only thing is they've been waiting for an idiot to bell the cat. Here I am. Something that everybody knows must be done, but nobody is willing to do. You must stand up and do it, isn't it? Hello? When we know it must be done. Because for this kind of work, you will not earn a heap of money, you will end up spending. You will not get an award, you will not get this or that. You may lose your life for all you know. But what needs to be done must be done, isn't it? Yes. That is where human ability to do things are. That what is most needed, we can stand up and make it happen. So what is most needed is not soil. What is most needed is human beings are in a certain state. See, today in this room, nobody is famished or starved, all right? Can I assume that? I can see that. Nobody is starved out. Whatever, something that is needed to nourish this body is coming to you. So once food is taken care of, rest is all in your head, isn't it? Hello? The quality of your life is in your head. See, this is so, especially in southern India, even now in the villages it's like that, though it's not so much relevant. When I heard a lot of Tamil people, are they? There are Tamil people? What? Okay, there are some Kannada people also. So in the village, if you meet somebody, they won't ask you, how are you doing? They will just ask, what's happening? What happened? This means, have you eaten? Because if you've eaten, what other problem do you have? Rest of the problem is your own poking yourself, isn't it? Human beings are unfortunately suffering their own intelligence. If you take away half the brain, all of you will be peaceful. Hello? To be peaceful has become such a big problem. They have to drown themselves in alcohol, they have to take drugs, they have to take medicine, they have to do all kinds of circus to simply sit here peacefully. Simply because you do not know how to handle your own intelligence. This is the only problem. If you had the brain of an earthworm, you would not only be peaceful, you would also be eco-friendly. But creation decided to give you this big brain with tremendous competence. I'm asking you, is intelligence a problem or a solution? What do you think? Should intelligence be a problem or a solution? It is the only solution that there is, isn't it? Human intelligence. But that's become the biggest problem. You may think you are miserable because of something or the other. No, it's your own intelligence poking you all the time from inside. Tell me, what else are you suffering other than your own thought and emotion? If somebody is physically torturing you, that's a different situation. That needs to be handled differently, all right? That's a totally different thing. But rest of the suffering, 90% of the human suffering is your own thought and emotion. I'm asking, if you are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever is your age, when will you learn to handle your thought and your emotion to make your life beautiful? Right now, your own thought and emotion is doing crazy things to you. Hello? For this, there are exotic names. This is called stress, anxiety, depression, manic depression. There are 72 varieties of mental illnesses. 72. Which one are you? You can just tell me the number, I know. Well, you may not have found a medical number yet, but people come to me and say, Sadhguru, my mother-in-law, Sadhguru, she's not even a human being. My husband, after all, her son. And my boss, he's terrible, like this. I say, you come. Don't worry, your mother-in-law, husband, boss, everybody will keep them out. Only you. Just come, stay in the yoga center. I'll give you good food, nice place to stay. And if you're willing, I'll take care of you for the rest of your life. Only condition is, I will make a random check on you. When I check, you must be joyful. If you're… then we will stop feeding you because I don't believe in feeding misery. What is the point of feeding misery? So you just leave them in one room, within 24 hours, they're missing the mother-in-law. All kinds of things. In 24 hours, they're twisting themselves out. Hey, when you're alone, if you're miserable, obviously you're in bad company, isn't it? Huh? You're sitting here alone and you're miserable. Are you in bad company or no? That one company you need to fix. If this one thing you do not fix, even if everybody around you is fantastic, the more fantastic they are, the more miserable they'll make you. So this one human being, if you know how to keep this one human being, you have made it through the world, isn't it? Others we can manage. Huh? Yes or no? Others we can manage to the extent we can, others we can manage some distance, somehow. As long as this one thing is happening the way you want. If this one person that you are, happening exactly the way you want yourself to be, would you keep yourself miserable or blissful? You must answer because I'm going to bless you right now. See, the choice is obvious. Such a simple desire. Why is it not coming true? Simply because your education systems, your society, everybody telling you, teaching you how to conquer the world, not even telling you how to use your own faculties properly for your benefit. With you as your enemy, It doesn't matter which fortune falls upon you, everything will be disaster. Yes or no? Hello? When you are the enemy in your life, doesn't matter, you marry the most wonderful woman, you marry the most wonderful man, you end up with a big lottery, do whatever, everything will cause more and more misery, not less. Because there is only one person who determines the nature of your experience, that is yourself. If you don't take charge of your faculties, if you allow your intelligence to function accidentally, oh, it can cause enormous misery. Why is intelligence causing misery? If I ask you a simple question, this also you must say yes or no, otherwise I'm going to bless you. If I give you a choice, you want your intellect to be sharp or dull? Sharp. So obviously your intellect is a cutting instrument, it's like a knife. If you have a knife in your hands, you must be a little more conscious. Otherwise if you do this, you know. Why is it that we will not give a knife to a child's hand? Not because knife is dangerous, simply because the child's hand is not steady enough. He may cause harm to himself or to somebody else. So right now that's all that's happened. They give you a sharp intellect. As I said, if they had given you the brain of an earthworm, oh, how wonderful and peaceful you would be. And as I said, even if you're friendly, we didn't have to start the movement, save soil, we would all be saving soil anyway. The evolutionary faculties that came to us are the greatest blessing that we have. Over a period of time, life evolved to this point. At least do you agree with me? No, don't look at your neighbor or your somebody that you have trouble with and tell me answer. Just tell me by your own understanding. Among all the creatures on this planet, human being is a peak of evolution, isn't it? Hello? Now, some of you are not agreeing at all. Is human being the peak of evolution? That means you're on top of the world. But when you look at people on the street, they don't look like they're on top of the world. This is not because of poverty. This is not because of war. This is not because of famine. The people who are in such conditions, that's unfortunate. We need to change that. That's a different situation. Most people have eaten well, but they're miserable because their own intelligence keeps stopping them all the time. It doesn't give you 1 minute of rest. You know, like I was talking to a group of people in America, they said, Sadhguru, if you can develop a meditation to help people to sleep, this will go, Sadhguru, in a big way in America. To sleep. I said, my life and my work is to awaken people, not to put them to sleep. No, Sadhguru, if you make a sleep app, in your voice, if you make a sleep app, it will sell like anything. Then if everybody sleeps, then what do? At least they will be peaceful. Oh, of course, if we are dead, we will be peaceful, all of us. To be peaceful has become such a big problem. Forget about this folk. You know, I was to speak in Tel Aviv, and I flew from Atlanta to Tel Aviv, and I was to get there in mid-morning and speak at 6:30 in the evening. But because of some flight delays, I ended up landing there at 6 o'clock in the evening. So 6:30 is my talk. So I quickly changed in the airport and rushed because I have this problem that last 40 years I have not really been late to a single event in my life. I want to keep it up. See, you're clapping as if that's a big thing. When you agree to come at a certain time, isn't it your business to come at that time? Hello? But now that's become a great virtue, somebody came on time. So I landed there, I quickly changed and I'm traveling on American Airlines, there's nothing edible out there. So by the time I get there, I'm really hungry, super hungry. Then, but there's no time, so I just rush. And to my surprise, to my amazement, it doesn't usually happen to me. The top is in a fine restaurant in Tel Aviv. This doesn't usually happen to me at all. I thought, this is really providence, you know, when you're this hungry, isn't this the best place to speak? Then as I walk in, people are greeting me and one person comes and says, Shalom. I asked him, what does it mean? He says, this is the highest way of greeting. I said, see, that's your opinion. What does it mean? No, this is really the highest way of greeting. I said, all right, what does the word mean? Then he says, it means peace. Then I said, see, why would peace be the highest way of greeting unless you were born in the Middle East? In South India, somebody comes up in the morning and says, peace. I said, what's wrong with you, man? So I'm saying, whatever you deprive yourself of slowly rises to heaven. Today you talk about peace, people will say divine peace. You talk about joy, they say divine joy. You talk about bliss, they say divine bliss. You talk about love, they say divine love. These are all things human beings can do. You can be peaceful, you can be joyful, you can be blissful, you can be loving. Your being, isn't it, here and there? Hello? Is there anybody here who's not felt a moment of love in your life, a moment of joy in your life? That's not true. Everybody has experienced. This means what? You are capable of it, but you're not able to sustain it. Hello? It's a sustainability issue, like with everything else. Yes? You are capable of joy, you are capable of love, you are capable of blissfulness, but can't sustain, because anybody can mess with it. Just anybody can take it away from you, just like that. You're walking on the street happily, somebody said one word, it goes away. So, you don't have a really problem of being joyful or blissful or loving. All of you are capable and competent. Only problem is sustainability. Not able to be like that every moment of your life. So, you're qualified but not worked on it. Hello? When you were 5 years of age, were you just bubbling with joy for no reason? Hello? Oh, at that time somebody had to make you unhappy. Today somebody has to make you happy. When did the equation get reversed? No, sadhguru, I'm an adult, I have a lot of responsibility. It is not because you're an adult. If you're an adult, you're 5 if you're so joyful. By the time you're 30, you must be ecstatic. Hello? Just the reverse has happened, simply because you lost control over your faculties. Your thought doesn't happen the way you want. Your emotion doesn't happen the way you want. How do you expect your life to happen the way you want? Let's look at it this way. See, when it comes to life situations, whether it's your nation or your society or your street or your family or just 2 people, both of you at home, even if it's just 2 people, external situations will never happen 100% your way. Yes or no? Hello? That's why a lot of people take sannyas. 100% it will never happen your way. 51% if it's happening your way, you have the controlling stake. If you try 100%, nobody will be around you. Yes or no? Hello? So outside situations, in the very nature of things, it is like this, that it can never happen 100% your way. A little bit my way, a little bit your way, a little bit somebody else's way. This is the way outside situation happens. But what happens here must happen my way, isn't it? Hello? If this happened my way, I would always keep it, as you said, blissful and wonderful. How else would you keep yourself? But right now, just about anybody can mess with you. This is not because there's something wrong with your life. You're so serious. Can I take your joke? Hello? What is it? Come on. Can I tell you a joke, ladies?
Yes.
This happened. On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there and staring at her. Then he started coming closer and closer and closer. He came so close, she could even feel his breath. And she trembled, not out of fear. And then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream." What's happening in your head is your dream. So right now the problem is not about life not happening the way you want, even the stupid dream is not happening the way you want. So for this you don't have to conquer the world, you have to take charge of your faculties. Huh? Your thought, your emotion, your body, your energies must happen your way, isn't it? Everything that human beings can do, all the beautiful, wonderful things that human beings can be, has been exported to heaven by people. If you say love, they look up. If you say joy, they look up. If you say bliss, they look up. Peace, they look up. These are all things you can do within yourself, yes or no? Hello? I was, our center in Tennessee. If you have lived in America, when I say Tennessee, most people say, Tennessee? That's where you are? Because Tennessee has a certain reputation. So, it's a large center coming up now. In the beginning, about 10-12 years ago, when we first came there, it's a small town, one-horse kind of town. So I just walked in and as I'm walking on the street, I'm greeting people and smiling at them. Well, this is a town where, I'm just the right complexion. A shade darker than this cannot be in the town. I'm just at the right edge. I'm just at the right place. Just a little more, I cannot be there. It's that kind of town. And a huge man, he's like 6 feet tall, this wide, comes and stands like this close to me. I had to look at him like this. And he looks down at me and says, "God loves us." I said, "The way you are, only God can love you." If God has to love the mistakes He's made. God loves you is not the point. The thing is, if you make yourself in such a way, nobody can help loving you, that's a good way. Hello? See, when you were a child, you were like that. Nobody could help loving you, everybody wanted to grab you. Yes or no? No. You think this is being adult? This is being just stupid. Making yourself miserable, making yourself without a moment of joy or peace within you, without something stimulating you, this is a stupid way to live, nothing adulthood about it. Hello? No, you're all very serious. Hello? This is very important because joy is not the goal of life. Joy is an ambience that you need within you if this life has to find its full potential. If it is all the time stressed with something, this will not find its full potential. Just managing survival looks like a circus. When a grasshopper can manage his survival with a millionth of your brain, survival should not be an issue, isn't it? But human beings are making this so big, as if survival is the beginning and end of their life. You must understand this. For every other creature, survival fulfills them. For you, survival doesn't fulfill you. Survival only sets the stage for your life to happen. Yes or no? Survival doesn't fulfill you. All others, eating, sleeping, reproducing, their life is settled, they have no issue beyond that. But your life is not like that. If you organize your survival, your stage is set. Now what is the dance? That needs to happen. For that to happen, the most important thing is you have an ambience within you, which is pleasant for yourself. When you're feeling pleasant, when you're feeling very joyful, do you see how nice you are to everybody? Hello? The same person, if we meet you when you're angry, frustrated, miserable about something, you're also a nasty human being, yes or no? So for the last 27 years, we've been working in the prisons in southern India, and also we did some work in the United States. These are all hardcore criminals, they come for murder and more most of the time. Because mostly we work with the long-term prisoners. Initially I personally went there myself and worked with them. What I saw is, these are absolutely wonderful guys. But if you read their history sheet, they have done horrible things. And if you let them out tomorrow, once again they may do the same things. You don't know. At least 40 to 50% may still do the same things. But when they are with me, they're just wonderful. Because if you keep them happy, when they're happy, they are wonderful. Like everybody else. When they are miserable, they will share their misery with you. You're also like this, isn't it? You do it within the framework of law, they are little more, far more vigorous than you. The problem is this, you are in pursuit of your happiness. They are also in pursuit of their happiness. They pursue their happiness far more vigorously than you. You are willing to stand in the line, they want to jump the line. That's all crime is, isn't it? Hello? You are willing to stand in the line and pursue your happiness, they will jump the line in some way, one way or the other. So we need to understand this. This is the case of a potato farmer. Once a potato farmer went, because he wanted to eat mangoes, he went to a mango tree. Out of habit, he started digging down, potato farmer, very intensely. Then the tree came down on him. This is all that's happening to human beings. Right now, in your childhood, you got something from outside and you thought that was the source of your happiness. And now you think you want more and more, to a point where we have to come and talk about soil extinction. Can you read this? Did anybody ever think of this? Could anybody even think of such a thing a generation ago? That soil could go extinct. We have heard of rhinoceros going extinct, dodos going extinct. Soil going extinct? Is such a thing even possible? Could anybody even conceive this 100 years ago? But that's where we are right now. That's where we are. We are heading in that direction. It's not that tomorrow morning, soil will go away. It's not like that. It's just sliding. If you don't reverse the slide, then suffering will come. This year, the World Food Programme is expecting at least 60 to 70% more famine conditions in Africa than last year. Last year they spent, in 2021, they spent $9 billion distributing food to various famine-affected areas. This doesn't mean all the people ate well, they just got enough to survive. This year, they are saying their budget has to be 15 million. But I don't know what will happen, because suddenly they are being pushed towards doing things in Ukraine. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, everywhere there are people, but Africa is heading into a place where there will be serious problems with food just this year, 2022. Famine conditions are supposed to go up anywhere from 50 to 60% compared to what it was last year. So this is not only… When we say famine, we tend to think, oh, that happens in Africa, that happens in some poor country. No. World Food Programme predicts famine conditions in around Chicago and Illinois state by 2035. Because soil depletion has come to such a point. Well, we may transport food and try to feed people, but if people are not growing food where they need it, where they're living, at least 60% of the food is not coming from the land upon which they are living. you are sitting on a potential disaster. It is great that today the Caribbean nations are focusing in that direction, that the leadership in the CARICOM region, everybody is thinking in terms of how we must be producing the food that we need. It's not like everything that we need has to be produced, but at least 60% of the diet that we need must come from the land around us. If this doesn't happen, we will pay a price, because when there are food shortages, whoever has the biggest guns will take the food, just know this. Yes, it is not because you have it, you will have it. Whoever has the power will take it when there are food shortages. And the UN agencies are saying by 2040 you could expect dozens of civil wars across the world because of food shortages. Because human beings will not be human beings once there is no food to eat in a given city or in a given country. The people who are living here in this city right now, whatever civilization they are exhibiting in their daily life, 3 days if there is no food in this city, all civilization will just evaporate like it didn't exist. Even humanity will evaporate. People will become like, this will happen because this has happened. We've just forgotten. Even in India, I'm just reminding them of this, because just before 1950s, we had terrible famines. In 1942, there was a famine in India which took 3.2 million people in 4 months. See, this is not like a bomb. Famine is not like a bomb. If you drop a bomb, we will die immediately, which is a relief compared to a famine. Famine means in 4 months, slowly people will die. There have been situations where people have cut the limbs of their own children and eaten it, okay, because of hunger, not able to bear the hunger. So, this is very important, because as a humanity, as a generation, if we don't take these steps right now, we will regret this, because the loss of biodiversity in the world is at that pace. According to UNFAO, every year, 27,000 species of microbes are going extinct. If it goes at this rate, in another 30 to 40 years' time, we'll reach a place we will not be able to regenerate the soil even if we wish to. This generation, we are in a cusp of time, we are on a threshold, we are on a precipice that if we do the right things, we can turn around in the next 10 to 15 years' time. If we don't do that, we will go over, and then it will be late. The population